so boring. Heard about what? I hate her, I don't agree. I did it first, I give a fuck. I just want fuck, be asleep, love, happy. Can you make me happy? Can you keep me happy?
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of TALKZ. I'm Ray.
And I'm B.
And this is
the final episode of the season. Woo! You need to get a sound machine.
Yeah. Period. Oh my God, I can't believe we made it this far.
Yeah, we made it. We made it to the end of the season.
And season 2 is going to be amazing.
It's going to be great. Season 2 is going to be great. Mm-hmm.
Make sure y'all tune in, especially if you're watching from YouTube. Mm-hmm. Make sure y'all tune in because it's going to be so much fun.
Yep.
But this is the last episode.
Yep. And we're here at Christmas is knocking on the door, honey. It's waiting to get in, and New Year is following.
I cannot wait till next Christmas because this Christmas is just not it.
Yeah, it's kind of like but everything will be. I feel like the New Year is more clear. It's more opportunities and a new start.
That's right. Yeah. And speaking of new starts, do you want to tell them what this episode is going to be about?
This episode is going to be about self-sabotaging. Are you self-sabotaging your life?
Right.
And that could be in any aspects of it. Like when things are going good, do you, especially if you're used to your life going a different way and it's going in the right direction and then you like self-consciously, sabotage it.
Yeah.
So, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I have a couple of examples or a example of me doing that.
Yeah.
This was like, now that I'm the age that I'm 45. So I'm talking about like 10 years ago. Okay. That's when I was most toxic in my early 30s. During my 30s, like.
Oh my God.
And I'm talking about toxic in relationships. That I own my stuff. Okay, I'm owning my stuff, so the people need to own their stuff.
Right.
Okay.
And that part, I think I have I do have a few examples, and oh God, Jesus Christ.
I know. Well, I would start off when I was dating. When I was dating somebody, what I call them, big back.
Yeah, big back.
When I was dating big back, was it moose face? What's the other one name? Dog face. When I was dating I think it was dog face. It was one of them. And we had a period of things was going great. It was good. There was no arguing. There was no nothing. And everything was fine. And then one day I came to you. I said, you know what? I'm bored in this relationship. I think I'm going to start some mess.
Oh my God.
So that was me self-sabotaging.
Because you was looking for some drama.
I was looking for a little drama. Okay. And so, yeah, that's my example of self-sabotaging in that relationship. And
before we get into it, though, from the podcast, this has nothing to do with the self-sabotaging. But what was your favorite episode this season from the podcast that we filmed?
I think it would be like, let me see. I want to say the first or second episode.
I liked it, the TALKZ Unfiltered.
You did? I liked our little smash or pass situation.
The smash or pass, and then our story time with the relationships. That was probably my favorite one, and then the most recent one we did was my favorite one.
Yeah.
I liked it. But TALKZ Unfiltered is definitely my favorite ones. Yeah,
you could be a little bit more, unfiltered with what you're saying and stuff like that. So. Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason why we haven't been bringing TALKZ Unfiltered is just because I haven't really been, having nothing to unfilter.
Yeah, it was just a random thing. It was random.
And so. I was going to be like, we can make that an every Wednesday thing. But I feel like with our schedules and just like having that, I like to give it like a waiting period and then be like, oh, there's an episode of TALKZ out. Like, I like to have it spaced out.
Yeah.
So that's why the unfilters haven't been a thing, but next season I'm gonna make it to where it's just like, oh, it's just a random thing. It's not gonna be like a consistent.
Yeah, or next season we could just be unfiltered.
Right.
We could just say, say whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever. If it offends some people, which we don't try to be offensive.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just gotta say what you need to say.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's like I started a podcast because I didn't want to be like filtered.
Yeah, or in a box. I don't want to be in a box either. So I've researched. There's lots of podcasts out there. And the ones that I feel like is too much for me, I don't listen to. But I like In Your Face. I like the truth. So that's that.
So next
we don't
next
need the
season,
unfiltered. This is
the unfiltered. I just want to do like maybe a different segment, like bring a fun segment where we're like playing games. So maybe it's not gonna be called unfiltered. Maybe it'll be like After Dark or game night or whatever,
something like that.
But I like to be unfiltered with the podcast.
Yeah,
so next season we're gonna do like it's just gonna be a little bit different,
a different format. So,
so with the podcast, what are you looking forward to next season for our podcast?
So we could be more. We're gonna be a little bit more consistent. It's gonna be a little, more, different topics. Just a lot of fun. Maybe we get to, do a little something, a little surprise, or have a little guest, or
a little guest.
Whatever, a little guest.
Just a little.
Be more out there. Just learning more from this season, and just growing from here.
I think I'm looking forward to trying new things with the podcast. Like, I want to be more interviewee. I want to change the layout of it, like the background and stuff like that. And I already made a new intro for the podcast, so that was the first step.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So back into the topic of self-sabotaging. So you mentioned the relationship thing. So I know one way that I self-sabotaged myself last year was dating the wrong person. Excuse me. And I feel like that self-sabotaged my life like big time, because I feel like decision making, the decisions that you make can sabotage your life. Like dating the wrong person or picking the wrong job or just making the wrong decision, that can set you up for sabotage. Like the dwarf that I was dating with the club feet. I feel like that was a sabotaging moment. Like I knew better. I knew better than to date somebody like that. And I just was like, oh, well, we went to school together. We was friends. He was cool. He didn't show those signs of any weirdness. Like, we was cool. So I was like, okay, we can hang out, be friends, da-da-da-da. But I feel like him assuming that we was in a relationship, I just went with the flow or whatever because it was just whatever. Yeah. And that really, I feel like that was the downfall of that part of my life, like me,
that was your low point.
Yeah, that was my low point. So I feel like that was a very self-sabotaging, but it was a teaching moment because it's like now I know better, but I really did know better, y'all. It was, I don't know what I was thinking. It was just a moment of a clouded moment, I guess. So are there things in your life that you wish you would have done differently, that you sabotage yourself from when you held yourself back, or that you feel like you held yourself back in certain moments?
Yes. When after high school, I wish I would have went straight to PV, and I wouldn't have never met the people that I've met, the guys that I've met. I wish I would have just, kept my head in the books and focused on that versus, because God's gonna always be there. So and I know that when I'm back in, in my early years, when I would feel down or whatever, I will go back to the person that I knew was wrong for me as a form of punishing myself for whatever reason and self-sabotaging. So, but I don't do that anymore. But when I look back, I realized that's what I was doing. When I would be depressed, I would go back to that person I know wouldn't nothing for me, that was bad for me, to punish myself. So that could be damaging, and that can, going into your next thought, is that can have you living in regret. Oh, I regret doing that. You don't want to do that. If you don't want to regret your, things in your life like that.
Yeah, like stuff that may not be good for you.
Yeah, that
but you're comfortable.
Better. Yeah.
And that's just like when I was dating my first man. I knew he wasn't good for each other, but I was so comfortable, and I feel like that sabotaged all of my relationships, because me just staying with him, it just made me be like, oh, well, the next person I'm with, I'm trying to hold it to this person. Like, I'm trying to connect it to this person. But that's so sabotaging. Because it's like, you're not good for me. So why am I trying to find you in every other relationship?
Else, give the new person a chance to do what they're going to do, you know?
Yeah.
And not compare to the old person. And I've done that too. You know, I've compared Big Back and I've compared Dog Face. And they are the same. Okay? They're similar. So I have to I'm stepping out of the box of them and choosing different, you know, going for a totally different type of guy. Yeah. So, you know, I also try to examine myself and be like, okay, well, let me stop choosing similar guys. And then there's sometimes when the guys, their representative shows up and not their true selves. Yeah. But, you know, when you realize that, you get out. Yeah. You get yourself out of there, so.
And I feel like self-sabotaging can be with friendships, too. Because, like, there's friends that I should have never... You know, you have those friends that they show their colors one time. Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, let me give that person another chance after chance after chance. That's sabotaging as well. And it can be damaging on your mental because you're thinking that this person is changing. Yeah. You're thinking that, okay, maybe that was just the old you. Maybe we can try again. And I feel like I messed myself up there because it's like, how can I word it? I feel like continuously letting people like that back into your space puts you in a negative light, a negative position.
A negative era. A negative. You have this negative cloud.
Yeah, and it's like when you're trying to change and when you're trying to be better, but you're still holding on to that. Yeah, you're still holding on to it, and it pulls you down. Like, exactly. And you're always finding yourself just pissed off. Yeah. And you're like, why am I so pissed off? It's because you have these people around that's not supposed to be around. Yeah. And I knew that these people weren't supposed to be around because the universe kept showing me in different ways. But just me being the person I am, I'd be like, oh, well, let me give this person a chance or let me see. No. Yeah. Like, I don't need to see them.
Especially when that person, you know, people only tell you the negative things, bad things. They don't never show or share positive things. Yes. They only want to share the negative
stuff,
and
it's like,
that up.
Yeah, don't come at me with no negative stuff. Like, especially when I was pregnant, don't continuously tell me no drama, no. Like, come and tell me something good about what's going on with yourself. Even like now, like, oh, well, I want to tell you this. Oh, this happened. No, tell me something good. Like, tell me what's going on. If I feel like if I'm important enough to you to tell you the tea and the drama that goes on with yourself, then I should be important enough to tell you good, you know, for you to tell me good stuff about your life.
Well, maybe they don't have any good things about them to tell, so all they do have to offer is negative. And that's not good. If you continue to stay in that and be around that, then you're self-sabotaging yourself because eventually you will be consumed with that and you become just like that person.
Yeah, and I feel like now, like with the career I'm going in, I'm a mother now. I want to have like-minded friends. Like I'm going in a different career path. I want to focus on people that are maybe in that same field or like going to school as well. And I want to hang around other mothers. Like I feel like that's more my thing now. And I want to be around people that want to share their positivity with what's going on in their life with me, just like I'm gonna share my positive that's going on with them.
You want to be with people around people that celebrate you and y'all celebrate each other.
Exactly.
And big up each other. And
exactly. There's no competition.
Life is more. There's more to life than trying to be like the Joneses.
Exactly.
And trying to my man. It's more to life than that. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like I was telling you, I feel like when I got pregnant, everybody just kind of put me down a little bit. Not like my friends, like the people that came to the gender reveal. But it's like, I feel like certain people was trying to count me out. Like, oh, well, you got pregnant. There's that downfall. Now I'm better than you. Yeah. Like, no, you're not better than me because I feel like I live my life a certain way. You live your life a certain way. I don't care to be, I'm going to get married first and then I'm going to go get a house and I'm going to have a car and I'm going to have kids. Because that's not that's not, for me, that's just not reality. Like,
it's not a cookie cutter. It's not a cookie cutter. If that was the case, then everybody would do the same thing.
Exactly. We will all be living the same life. But me, I feel like I want to grow up with my kid. I don't want to be 30 years old, 40 years old.
And barely can keep up with
them. And can't, you know, it may be a maturity, but I want my kid to know me and learn me just like I'm learning my kid. So
who's to say if you get married in that order, y'all will stay together. And there's plenty people that are there's plenty married couples that are abusive
Bless you.
That are abusive and their kids are miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there are plenty of people that are married but single.
Yeah.
You're in a marriage but you're single. You're the one doing all the work. You're the one taking care of those kids. Yep. So you're a single mother in a marriage.
Exactly.
And I don't have time. That's just not how I live my life. If I choose to get married and if I choose kid, then get married, then whatever. I'm not too particular on the order. And for people to make me feel bad about that or try to make it seem like they're better than me or constantly throw it in my face, you're not better than me. You can't make me feel bad about that. So it's those type of people I don't care to be around. And when I keep that around, I feel like that's just a sabotaging moment for me. Yeah. So it's like I feel like now the people that I have around, which is just my family, because I don't really got no friends like that. Yeah. I feel like it's just meant to be because now I can start my friend group over. Now I can see which friends I want to have around, which friends I like. Yeah. And then I do have friends that don't have any kids that I would love to keep around. Like that I love hanging out, or I used to love hanging around. You should nourish that. You should, entertain that. Yeah. Because, you just don't want to be in someone's negative space. Some people can be so miserable and they want to bring you down with them. They'll make sly comments and stuff like that because they are so unhappy. Exactly. In the front, they're trying to present themselves as put together and happy. Yeah. But behind the scenes, how do you feel when you go home and actually live your life? And exactly. It's not the life that you try to portray. It's miserable. Exactly. And you like some people exude that. They just ooze that. So that's when you just get away. You can't keep. There's nothing to fix, and you can't keep doing that. You can't keep bringing yourself down. So. That's how that is. Yeah, so removing friends and relationships that are sabotaging your life. It's okay to do that. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's like a detox. Yeah. And I know that the ending of this year, I was detoxing a lot. Like, I changed my phone number, and I'm cutting out a lot of friends. I took all my pictures down from Instagram because I want a new fresh start. And that's growth. It's called growth. Yeah, I feel like I'm just growing up. Yeah. I'm mentally changing. And it's like, if you're going to still be in that middle school, high school era dynamic, I don't care who you are. Yeah. It's just that's not for me. We all grow. At what point do we grow? Yeah. From the middle school and high school mentality, from the boy, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, or being messy and all of that. That some people are stunted in that. In that that's their peak. That's their peak. And I've outpeaked that. I've outgrown that. Yeah. Like, because what you throw out into the universe, you gotta get back. So that's what I be saying. So it may not come right away. Yep. But right at your moment, when you're not thinking about it, it's gonna come. So that's why it's That's why I be saying, feeling like I have my son really made me look at things so differently. Because it's like I had to look at myself and feel like, why aren't things working out for me the way I needed to go? Yeah. And even when I was dating club feet, I would find myself in these moments like, why? Like, this part of my life is going right, but the other half isn't. And it was like, okay, well, I need to get rid of you. Yeah. Because this is not me. Even with jobs, I'll be like, I'm not happy at this job. I'm not fulfilled with this job, but I want to move up. I want to move into a different position. Yes. But it's like, it's the job that I need to get rid of so I can figure out what I really, really need to do. Sometimes the jobs will hold you back. Financially wise, it holds you back. Mentally, it just takes your soul. It tries to take your soul. So you gotta, it's okay to move, you don't have to, some people stay and I've witnessed this, some people have been at the same job for 10 years, and this lady got cut off because the new guy came in and said she did something, and she didn't. You want to come over here, so, and they let her go after 10 years, just 10 years down the drain, nothing, no appreciation or nothing. So if you find yourself not getting what you want from a certain job, then look for another job. You know what I'm saying? While you still have that one, just keep looking. Yeah. Until you find what you want. Who is? You hear that too? Yeah. What is that? Yes. What is it? Hold that power so I can see. Let me see. What is that? Yeah. Oh, you can have those. You put them in the oven, right? Right. Next time, speak. Trying to figure out what that noise is. So I was doing some research on how people can figure out, like, especially people that are viewing, how do you know when you're self-sabotaging your life? So before I get into that, do you want to elaborate on some ways that you know that you're self-sabotaging your life?
No, I mean, you can go first.
Okay, so it said that when you're constantly putting yourself down and picking yourself apart.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Oh, Lord. And you looked at me like that, gave me that look.
Well, because I be feeling like you be like picking everything about yourself apart. Like you talk about your weight and your this and your that and your this and this. And I'm like, girl, there's nothing wrong with this. Just like you was just talking about your eyebrows. There's nothing wrong with your eyebrows. I like your eyebrows.
Oh my God.
So it's just like I feel like you really nitpick at yourself. Like you'll look in the mirror and just really nitpick.
I think since I've gotten in my 40s, I've started to do that.
But it's like, do you look in the mirror and be like, well, this is going great. I look this look good. This, yeah, look at me. Yeah. I want you to do that. I want you to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a form of you self-sabotaging yourself, and you just setting yourself up, and you need to do that.
And you become what you say.
Yes.
So if I feel like I'm fat, or if I feel like I have a big old, I don't know, like what did I say? If I feel like my hair doesn't grow fast enough and all this, then it's so. It is so. Mm-hmm. So I need.
Yeah, like when you say something, it's final.
Yeah.
No.
It's not, and I'm trying to, and I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that because I do like certain things for myself about myself, even though But sometimes I'll be in a funk and I just take it out. Like I take it out on myself, and I don't need to do that.
That's being a bold.
Like I like the skin. I like my skin. My skin is actually very nice.
Yeah.
I really have a nice chocolateness to my skin.
You do.
When I look in the mirror, I try to embrace it. I do. But sometimes I just have an off day. Mm-hmm. But I actually like my skin. It's really nice.
And your eyebrows.
My eyebrows, like 5 years ago, I had a brow lady and she kept my eyebrows nice. I don't have them anymore. That's why I don't like my eyebrows. But 5 years ago, my eyebrows were perfect. I loved them.
I think you look the same. I think your eyebrows look the same.
So, well, there's things, but I can work on my weight, and I'm going to work on that. Mm-hmm. I really hope that I can kind of fight when I get down. Mm-hmm. When I get down, I eat. So I'm going to fight that urge to go eat for comfort. Yeah. Because that's what puts on the pounds. Yeah. So what about you?
That's why I say I'm going to hold you accountable to it.
And you will.
I know.
Because you held me accountable getting rid of drinking them soda water.
I held her accountable about the sodas, and I held my grandmother accountable about drinking Bush. So, yeah. But I think the ways that I self-sabotage myself is when I'm thinking about like a job or something, or thinking about like moving up in a position, I automatically tell myself I'm not going to be able to do that. Like I can't do the leader position. But then it's like when I'm doing, like when I was hosting, and I was training, and I was taking over to get the people in and out. I was like, I can be a manager or a big position.
Yeah, I would like, tell you to go for those positions. Yeah.
And I don't be, it's just like, but my mind be like, but what if I mess this up? What if I mess up the financial part?
Managers mess up stuff too.
Exactly. So. But then it's like in hosting or in restaurant, when you mess up, it's like they look at you like you're stupid or like you, like, why did you do that? You should know this. Yeah. But it's like, no, like you should train me better, or you should take your time with me and explain. Yeah. So it's like, I feel like, but now that I'm going the route that I'm going with my career, I'm not going to say too much of my career, y'all, but now that I'm going that route, I feel like I'm ready for that big position. I'm ready for, like, I'm confident enough to handle a group of people. Like, I could do it.
Yeah, and you should try it when the time comes. You should go for that position instead of, because you've learned. That's why you was in the last one. You sat there, watched what you do, learned. So now go for the next one. You have the experience now.
And that's what I'm going to do. Especially with the thing that girl sent me. Yes. I'm going for that so I can get my own spot. Yeah, so that's that. And then they have, the second one was quick to point out the negatives. Yeah. And I feel like we touched on that as well, like when you're quick to just point out negative things about yourself or negative things that's going wrong. Like, say, for instance, you had a stressful day and you dropped your biscuit on the floor and that was the final thing, and you just point out everything negative that went on down that day. Yeah. I personally like to be like, okay, well, what is something positive that happened to me? And that one positive thing can outweigh all the negative stuff. Yeah. Like, I don't like to be too negative for too long. So it's like when I'm like, okay, this and that. When like, okay, like for today, the baby was like very rowdy this morning.
Yeah.
And that really like upsetted me. But you talked me through it. I cried about it, and I was like, okay, it's time to move on from that.
Yeah.
Like, let's make the day positive. And that's what I was saying. Like, I hope we get out today and this and that. Let's make the day positive.
Yeah.
And you taking over the baby, that was like, that was the positive thing. And taking him to the store so I could just regroup and take a shower, clean up, and lay down for a little bit. That was the positive. So now it's like that one negative thing this morning doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah. Like, I'm not even on it.
So maybe like in the upcoming year, we at the end of the day, like, you know, whenever I get home from work, we should say a positive that happened to us today, no negative. Okay.
Do a brain dump.
Yeah. A positive, you know, try to find some positive things that happen. We can start with one positive thing, and that's it. So,
and I'm not saying like there's negative, like you can't point out anything negative that's going wrong.
But kind of balance it with a negative.
Balance it out so that you're not feeling so depressed and trapped. Yeah. Okay, the third thing was bad time management. And I feel that because I hate being late to stuff. And when I set a time that I need to do something like an interview or like we have dinner somewhere, I like to meet that time like a little early or at that time. And when I don't, then I feel stressed out. I feel like I'm about to mess up or overworked or whatever. So I think having good time management is a great form of not self-sabotaging yourself.
True.
I know, for an example, me and a friend was supposed to be at a certain spot at a certain time. Like, we were supposed to be out the door and headed to the spot. And it's like, we didn't meet that time because they're still getting dressed. They're still doing this and that. And it's like, well, we should have been did all of this. Like, some of this stuff should have been done already so that we can head out to where we're trying to go to at a certain time. So that already, I was like pissed off about it. So I think just good time management is.
I think that is. That's helpful.
Okay, number 4, it says being unorganized. And I think that's a good one because being unorganized is just like the time management thing. Like, you can have like having your stuff clustered everywhere creates a depression. It creates you in a sink. You can't think. So being unorganized, overdoing it. So taking on too many tasks. Being like telling your boss yes all the time, or telling a friend
and not finishing them and starting the next one and not finishing that one. That's awful. You don't need to do that because then you could become it creates a chain reaction. So,
and it's just having a pile. Now you're making a pile of stuff. Burnout is the last one. I'm gonna link the video to where I found all of this and where I did the research too. But it was like 7 or whatever. I just did 6. But burnout. And I feel like when you're overly burnt out or overly tired, it's just obviously not going to go well. So it's just like, give yourself a break, calm down, just take a breather, go in the restroom, breathe or something, or even take a day and just relax.
Go do something for you.
Boo-boo.
For instance, when I get off of work, it even though it may be a little excessive, but I'm gonna be cutting down on that though. But sometimes when I get off work, I like to go by Starbucks and get the refresher.
Oh, your refresher,
And that kind of like calms my, it not calm, but it kind of like,
it's something that makes you happy.
A good ending to my day, makes me happy.
And you look forward to that.
I look forward to it. So instead of trying to do it every day, I'm gonna do it every few days, like 3 days out the week. And I try to go when they have a little special, when it's half off on Thursdays. That makes it even better, okay?
Like my baby sucking his thumb gives him something to look forward to, huh? That's right. So yeah, those are the forms of self-sabotaging. If you don't know that you're self-sabotaging your life, those are some examples of how you're self-sabotaging your life. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have on that topic for y'all. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I mean, just work on not doing that. It's awful, and it doesn't make anyone happy.
I feel like it takes practice.
Yeah, it takes practice. Do little by little. You don't have to just dive in it all at one time. Just little things, start to change on that.
Yeah.
And you'll see how different your life be when you just take the time to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Work on it, okay? And you'll feel better about yourself. And don't let the new year pass you by without, elevating your life.
Right. And that's just that. Well, that was all I have. If you have anything else.
No.
So we made it to the end of the season.
We did.
I'm really, really proud that we stuck to that. And we just did 6 episodes.
Yeah. We set a goal. We was consistent, and we met the goal.
And that was that. Even, no matter how busy our schedules got.
Yep.
And even if I...
Yeah.
Right. And you were in some of the episodes.
Yeah, you were in some episodes too.
That's right. So you were consistent as well. Good job. Even if our schedules got busy or we had to film on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like today.
That's fine. That's fine.
Life. That's life, but we're still consistent.
Yeah, we're still consistent, and we don't stress out about it. Like, during the week, I'll say, you ready to, record today? No, not today. Fine.
Yeah.
Don't stress.
Yes.
Because then then you'll just not want to do it at all. So,
and this is something that's really fun. I didn't want to make it to where it was like a job. So, yeah. But yeah. We are coming up on the new year. We're coming up on Christmas.
Everything. And I'm excited. I'm very excited about what's to come in the new year.
Yes.
I can't wait.
We have some really good things for the podcast, and I really hope that they come through for us because I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
But without further ado, what's the ending? Without further ado. Yeah. I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year. Yes. And meet us in next year.
Okay.
That is the end of the season. And that's a wrap.
Yes, it's a wrap
for you, baby. Baby. What was I about to sing the Mickey? No, I'm not going to sing it. All right, y'all. I'm Ray.
And I'm B.
And this was another episode of
TALKZ.
See you next year.
Bye.